Hey friends, happy Monday. It is a new week, new month. How are you guys doing? I can't believe it, friends. It's almost the end of the year, and what a year it has been. My goodness. For me, I had quite a few highs, got married, started leadership school. But I've also experienced some private challenges as well. But God is good. God is good. Even in the challenging moments, it holds a purpose. You can grow from it. And God always shows himself in a new way. Even in seasons where, you're navigating. But I wanted to tune in today to speak about obedience over preferences. Last week, the thought was guard your gates. I didn't do a podcast on it. I did a video on Instagram. So if you're following me, go check it out. And that is to watch what you listen to, watch what you consume, what you feed your mind. Because seeds can be planted. And the side effect of that is that bad seeds that begin to bear fruit, can cause you to shift out of position as it relates to the promises that God has for your life. And so guarding your gates helps to protect those treasures. And so check it out. Short, quick, sweet, to the point. Today we're going to talk about obedience over preferences. So I know this is like a tough topic for some people because, hey, if we would admit it, some of us prefer comfort, we prefer familiarity, we prefer predictability, and it's easy to trust ourselves than it is to trust God, who doesn't always show us the plan, right? So imagine following someone who does not always show you every single next step that you should take. It stretches your faith. Yes, it's a stretch. And so obedience does not always come easy for some of us, especially when it challenges us to release our preferences. And so today is just a reflection and an encouragement to obey God above your preferences, Quick story of mine. I remember there was a point in my life where I was in an environment where God told me it was just time to shift environments. When I got that instruction, I did not want to do it, friends. I didn't want to do it. I was comfortable. I was familiar. And it was good. I felt like it was good. So I feel like obedience may come easier if you feel like, you're stepping away of something that's bad. But where the real challenge comes from is what if God tells you to release something that is good, that you think is good, right? And so I was challenged with that, walking away from friendships, walking away from platforms, walking away from what I envisioned as my future, to follow God into what's next without actually having a full picture of what that would look like. Gutsy. Yes, that's one word. Gutsy. But I'll have to say that thankfully, God is faithful. Every time I choose to obey, I see the exact reasons why, and it just marvels me how he's able to just really come through. There's a quote that I love to say and that's purpose is revealed with each obedient step that you take. And so Sometimes some of us may be in the blind for long and feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's next. And that's because you are not responding to the instructions that God is giving you. And so he can't really reveal the next step until you choose to walk forward in faith. Yeah. And so I believe, so this is my encouragement today, friends. Obedience trumps your personal preference every time, right? What I love about trusting God is that he has books written about each and every one of us, right? With a blueprint, a path that will bring the most fulfillment. It would give you joy, and it will produce much fruit. And for me, I'm always seeking God regarding his perfect will, right? And his perfect will may not always look like what I think, my preferences. And my preferences may not always be the best for me. But, where you can find true comfort in trusting a God who knows it all. Yes, who knows it all. And I would say, friends, that disobedience is not worth it. Disobedience is like saying, God, I hear you over there, but I'm going to put self above you. I'm going to put my comfort above you. I'm going to put me being in a familiar place before I'm going to put my job, my friends, the thing that you refuse to give up, to obey, I'm going to put that above you. And friends, is that even worth it? Most times it's not. And so this is just my reminder today as you continue to build, if you've been in a place where you feel stuck or unfulfilled, sometimes it's good to look back at the last thing that God had shown you to do and choose to obey, right? And what has helped me in my walk of following the Lord and obeying his instructions is this: the purpose in which he had sent me is not for me anyways. It's for his glory. I'm here not for myself. I'm here to fulfill a call and purpose that he has placed on my life. So how, why would I want to go against that? If we were to ever approach or look at life in that way, I'm not here for myself. I'm here for a purpose, on purpose. And I'm going to fulfill what was predestined for me because that's my function. Then it makes it easier to obey, because guess what? We're not here to please man, but to please God. We're not even here to please ourselves, because to me that's pointless. To only live to please ourselves. What's the point of that? And so that is it for today. Obedience trumps preferences every time. And when we choose to obey, it pleases the Lord. And that is the greatest badge of honor that you can ever wear in life, right? I'm not saying that with obedience, life is just a breeze, like a bed of roses. But what I can say is that it will be fulfilling. You can have joy in the highs and in the lows because God's presence will be with you. And you will bear much fruit because God makes provisions for those who walks in obedience. And so that is my encouragement for today, friends. Remember, obedience trumps preferences, and you can trust that the plans that God has for you are good, right? And so because he has a blueprint for our lives, leaning into that is rewarding, right? And so thank you all again for tuning into the Purpose Box. I hope you all have an amazing week. Until next time.